on. What's my password again? Hmm. Sorry, I'm checking something. Yeah, so it's not from me. I'm checking. I was checking through the logs of my internet, my router, and nope, there's literally no mention of my internet connection going down or my box restarting or something. So it's coming from Twitch. Twitch seems to have a problem. But when I check the Steam status page, it doesn't say anything. Oh, apparently like around midnight. Yeah, but it was like yesterday. Okay, I simply said in Dawn Detector that I have a problem, but yeah, it's Twitch. Twitch is having like an issue, but no website is saying that there's an issue with Twitch. But I've had several problems, and according to my router, it's not me. And because of these problems, we've reached a point where okay, Stream Elements is having a lot of lagging, like 4 minutes in, and it's finally saying that I'm live. So Stream Elements is having some issue as well. And yeah, because of all of these problems, we've reached the point where I'm switching to something else. So I will check next time. I'm still missing one. I'm still missing one thing, like one Bond episode from Shiden. I'll check it next time. For now, I'm going to switch to SoulWorker. Let me bring up this. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like Um, Hang on. I'm trying to remember. So I'm switching to SoulWorker. I'm gonna explain because last time I streamed the game, I got distracted uh, by a very friendly chatter who I mean I talked to about the game. I mean he was another player and we ended up talking about a lot about the game, and I ended up not really explaining the story and skipping a lot of it. He appeared before I faced off against Neb. So I'm gonna have to explain. So Neb, the guy who was financing uh, the Story Forest League, ended up being actually Tenebris, but his physical body, who was turned into a desire worker by Kent. Uh, and so, like, he tried to kill us, and something happened. Essentially, so now I can, like, explain the biggest plot parts. I mean, the biggest, like, plot things around the story of the game, as the origin. I mean, the like, uh, I explained like that the six main characters of the game. I mean, the six first characters of the game come from the vacuum. I mean, no, no, wait, no. I explained that in the vacuum they were turned into desire workers, and essentially, like, were doing horrible things, like they massacred people and stuff like that. Um, and the reason why we don't meet any desire worker is because the other desire workers are dead, technically. Hang on. Let me switch back to the game. Hang on. Where it's here. So the reason is because they are dead. They were killed in battle by Roska. So hang on. The one with a hang on. The lady. Hang on. Wait. I was there. Her. So the one with a golden armor, Roska. So Roska was the goddess overseeing our world, the one handling like anything. Wait, not that. Anything that has to do with soul energy. And to counteract Kent's plans, what she did was abuse her powers as a goddess to split the timeline. Oh wait, I could have waited. Oh yeah, no, wait. So she split the timeline. And created one timeline per character. And every time she killed off the other characters. And she essentially like defeated the characters that you play and threw them back into the world without their memories and without the desired energy, but with a lot of soul energy to make them a soul worker. So she split off the timeline so that every character would have to go through the same events. And when we were fighting Neb, she used her powers to merge the timelines back together and essentially bring us into the same timeline. So technically, the main timeline that is used here is Haru's timeline. We are in Haru's world, which is the main world. And so yeah, Roska essentially brought us together. So now the first 7, because she is also included technically, but she's an accident because I explained it, I think, sometime earlier. But she is a soul junk that took the control of a human corpse. She was never meant to be a soul worker. She fell from the vacuum on her own. In a timeline where Roska had defeated every single desire worker. And the reason Roska killed during Inchi's timeline, Roska killed Catherine, Sangyeo, and I think she has something to do with Hicks' death as well, was because they were supposed to die for the story to revolve, to unfold in the same way. So that there wouldn't be any conflict back when, any conflict from when they merge the stories together. And in Chi's story, I said it as well, when we are going through one of these dungeons, Flamebreaker, and Roy is with us, Roy who is Kent, he's the one who asks Chloe to warn the Vanguard that there is a trap for them. When in the other plotlines, he said, no, there's no need, they won't be defeated or something. And that's because he understood that there was a problem with that timeline, and things were not going to go well. Like, it was not part of his plan, because when she split the timeline, it split herself and Kent. There were several versions of Roska and Kent existing, essentially. But yeah, so the timelines have been merged, so now every soul worker is present, at least the first 7. We're still missing 3, but they're not in the story yet. And now we have started the West War. So we are going back to Grey City for these missions, but it's not done the same way. Essentially, like, you have to go through this UI to go to a maze. And hang on, did I said yep. You have to go through this UI to go through a maze, so you have a few. Like, each of these blue dots is a maze, and the gray dots are raid areas that will be unlocked as we progress through the story. And yeah, it's not like the gameplay changes a lot starting from here. Anything else? So we need to, basically, in the story, vacuum fanatics have been seen in the mountains surrounding the ruined fortress. They are going towards towards the Rain Fortress, and we are sent to essentially stop them and investigate what they're trying to do. So vacuum fanatics, which are tense soldiers, essentially. I'm choosing skip cutscene because it's a small cutscene of a plane taking off whenever you start a mission. It's not important. The game starts getting way harder, like enemies take way less damage. And yep. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yep. I forgot that Martin has convinced the near SoulWorkers to work with us. And Poison has also been convinced by Toru to work with us. So a few former enemies are now on our side. What's really interesting for the westward part of the story, yep, for the west part of the story, the SoulWorkers are essentially divided into two teams for almost every single thing. So you get like different dialogues depending on who you're playing, either on one team or the other. Oh, and we also learned that the reason why the revolting, the SoulWorkers that were rebelling suddenly disappeared is because of Rosca. She had made them disappear back in the days. But because she abused her powers, because she abused her powers, when she merged the worlds, the timelines back together, she had to lose her powers. She became a human. She still has her memories, but she became a human. And she actually she used to have the ability to see the future. So she could see a lot of futures, but she never surpassed that point where she lost her power. So these are the two leaders of the vacuum fanatics. So if you don't recognize on the right, the character on the right is Jeremy. There's actually like at some point in the story, after finishing Race City, I believe, there was a point where we saw Jeremy after Sangyob's death, and someone was convincing him to join their side or something. And so, yeah, Jeremy became a vacuum fanatic and became like way more powerful thanks to desire and energy. The one on the left is Relfen. You learn about her only if you go through the optional story stuff in Grasscover Camp, like the library, the bookshelf rather. If you interact with the bookshelf, you can learn more about what happened in Grasscover Camp during the 15 years in the vacuum. And Relfen was here, was like a bit unstable, to say the least. She was technically a former Desire Worker turned into a potential Soul Worker. But before the end of the events of... before the start of the events of the game, Kent managed to get a hold of her and turn her back into a Desire Worker. And so now she leads... is one of the leaders of the Vacuum Fanatics. Just like before, we get a lot of loot. A lot of useless loot. Yes. We get in the West Ward, because it's called the West Ward Dungeons. We get a few of these molten shards of desires that can be crafted into fused desire crystals. Fused desire crystals can be used with Toru to craft this. So it's some level 72 gear that you're supposed to craft with a materials from a really hard raid. You get the equipment for an entire month. I think. Yeah, it lasts for a month. And after that it disappears, but you can craft it back the next month if you have enough used desire crystals. So you can craft the entire set separately, so 4 for the weapon and 2 for each piece of equipment. It's quite powerful. I won't need it because I have a level 76 package. But if you're stuck, if you if you finish the Westward stuff and you reach the hub after that, Arcadia Realm, you might get stuck at some point because the game starts getting hard. So at this point you need to craft this and farm some raids to get the equipment to craft the materials to craft better equipment. It takes a lot of time, like an insane amount of time. I've never done it myself because it's too long. It will be too long. So anyway, we are still taking care of the Vacuum Fanatics. And as Martin just said, we need to find an enemy that can give us some information about their plans. I could have had a higher level at this point if I had done more that quest, but they're just too long and take too much energy. I mean, fatigue points. Oh yeah, I think they released an announcement about an event of some kind. Like, I've joined back the SoulWorker Discord server, and I think they released an announcement. Oh yeah, no, I forgot more of them respawn. Sorry, for some reason my brain is like... My brain is going really slowly today. Might finally be going crazy or something, I don't know. an issue with this. Okay, so the text that was hidden is I mean the text we didn't see because of the HUD disappearing. Was Abel telling us every communication revolves around this guy, so he must be their leader. And if I'm not mistaken, the guy refuses to talk and just kills himself. Yes. The story can be quite dark. Yep. Oh wait, no. No, we actually killed him because he was trying to convince us. And apparently he could have managed to convince us to join him. Yeah, I mean, I didn't launch the game yesterday, so I don't have as much fatigue points as I could have had, but I have a few things to get some back. Hang on, taking a big break. Alright, I'm back. Anyway. So, what's the objective now? Still to investigate, I think? Or is it to chase down after Redfen? Oh wait, no, that's when we first learn about her. Oh yeah, and this, from this point on, they start calling the vacuum the void instead. Like a few names start to change around because this stuff was released way after the rest. Yeah, that's what she was talking about. But yeah, she was kind of fine, but she was quite obsessed with Tenebris. And yeah, she got taken by Ken. Yeah, she's a bit of a mix between a Desire Walker and a Soul Junk. Normally we'll reach the point in the story where we encounter the eighth character. Yes, eighth character, Efnel. Which is quite powerful, by the way, when you play her. Of course, it takes some time to learn how to play her properly, but like, she's extremely powerful because she can clear entire rooms in a few seconds. And yeah, they baited us into the wrong area with a big signal. And so now we are chasing after Relfed. I have such a great level. Nice. But yeah, I get so much loot that I need to visit site every time. Oh wait. Well, I've actually on my other account I've decided to create a Stella. Oh, I wanted to check something. Yeah, no, I need to create a new league. And I kind of don't want to do it. I created a new Stella and they seem to have changed a few things about her skills since the last time I played her. She's still like a support character, but they've changed some of the stats and the mages for some reason. Anyway, last dungeon here. So chasing after Relfen. So no matter what group you play, I mean what character you play and what groups they are part of, you end up fighting Relfen, but not in the same order. Like one of the group fights her and weakens her, and the other group fights her and for good after she flees. But technically you go through the same areas, you fight the same enemies. It's just the story that changes a bit. I mean, makes sense if you want to understand the enemy. I don't remember what happens of her after we defeat her. But yeah, the rest of the game, for the rest of the game, it's the same way to play any through any maze. You have to use a UI. It will be the same in Arcadia Realm. Okay, anyway. I don't remember if she's as annoying as she used to be. Okay, yeah, no, she's not as annoying as she used to be. She used to have the ability to like one-shot you as soon as you enter the fight. Yep, she's running away, and the other team will take care of her. Okay, yeah, no, I remember now. Essentially, the teams the teams have been divided between two team leaders, which are Heroine and Haru. Which is funny because in the vacuum they used to travel together. Oh yeah, we got her. So now we are going to have to chase down after Jeremy, who's entered a part of the ruined fortress that we weren't aware of. Like it's an extremely restricted part. And it's essentially the labs where they made the near SoulWorkers. So that's where they made experiments to turn kids into near SoulWorkers. Also, Jeremy has taken control of the defenses because his power is based on energy. Hang on. Okay. Right. Just wanted to organize it properly. So yeah, Jeremy's power is based on energy manipulation, a bit similar to Abel. So he's managed to hack the drones. And we are going to have to investigate the Project Resurrection, which involves FNL.
ネットカンパニーの秘密研究に関する有効な情報が必要なんだ。頑張るね。C が全部やっとくから。リリーはゆっくりしててね。あなたと戦っているのを傍観しているだけじゃ、私の顔が立ちません。私なりにあなたを手伝います。だからお気になさらず。もし危なくなったら言うねね。すぐに駆けつけるから。
Okay, wait. If I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember the order that the story goes. So yeah, this is where they created the the near SoulWorkers. Sorry. I'm focusing on both the fight and following the conversations when they have any. I mean, I'm actually not really focusing on the fight. Like, most of the time I'm not even looking at the screen. It's a fun thing to do. You should try sometime. Like, play a game without looking at the screen. I find myself doing that sometimes. Like, I'm about to do something in a game, I look away from the screen, and suddenly when I look back, I've gone through the thing I wanted to do because I played without looking. Yeah, so we got some data to bring back. And I'm pretty sure this is where we learn about... I'm going to actually, like, read. Oh yeah, and it was only Chi and I. I forgot. The groups are smaller here. So I regroup those. It's something. Okay, yeah, so Poison talked about the existence of another near SoulWorker and the Project Resurrection. I mean, I guess I can explain it, what we're about to learn. Yeah, I will explain. Essentially, what we are about to learn was that the net company was doing a research project called Project Resurrection. This project was to create a machine capable of creating an entirely new reality. A reality without soul giants, without the vacuum. That would have been basically like a last resort plant where people would have played to. A safe space. I mean, a safe world. And FNL is a test subject at the center of it because for that world to exist, it needs to have a central anchor point. Something or someone who's considered the center of that world. And so FNL was chosen to be the center of that world. However, she was highly unstable, and they've never managed to complete the project, so they ended up putting her to sleep and locking her away. So FNL is sealed somewhere. FNL is sealed somewhere down here. And we are going to find her. Hang on. Yeah, and Jeremy is against us because of what happened to Sangyeo. He's blaming us, which is completely stupid. I mean, in a way I can understand, but you know. I'm stressing out and keeping an eye on the stream just in case it gets off again. Oh, come on. I wanted to use a skill. Yeah, I'm being a bit paranoid and checking on the stream status all the time because I don't want it to just cut off again and me having to re-explain a few things and screw that. So we are trying to find FNL and chasing down Jeremy at the same time. Hang on. Yeah. They keep giving us these every time we finish a quest, main quest. I don't really need it. Because I never used my entire SG and even if I did, it doesn't matter because you regain it simply by fighting enemies. Yep. Oh yeah, for this level, Poison has, for this maze, Poison has decided to accompany us inside. Because she's really interested in FNL actually. Because she believes FNL is the key to stopping Flema, the true rapid flame leader, from going out of control. Because he's in the with Kent, in search of power. Yeah, most of the main characters don't really appreciate Poison. Except for Chi, I believe. Yeah, at least the Nihil Kingdom is not actively trying to attack Command City. You know? Oh wait. I was not supposed to use it yet. Okay. I was just checking in case there was any more enemies that spawned. I wonder if I should maybe turn off the skill camera. Yeah, Abel is trying to take back control of the robots. You know what? This time I'm not going to see Zeit because it's annoying to do that all the time. So I'm going straight to chasing down Jeremy.
そうとするあなたに何の発言権があるのかしら。先輩、もうこんなことやめようよ。
そんな風に言い込むって僕を悪者にしてお前ら人間にこの世の真実を教えてあげるよ。どれほど無知かってことをね。
殴って正気にさせるしかないね。あまり強めには殴らないでね。
I'm pretty sure Jeremy appears in a raid at some point. I don't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure he appears in the raid. And that's how his story ends, because it's just like most of the other important characters, important antagonists. The story ends in a raid. We are actually gonna have to do this specific maze twice. To progress the story. I'll explain why exactly. Okay. Okay, I probably did not need to use this on him, but you know. Let's fight Jeremy. Who's quite annoying. Because this fucker has some invincibility as well. Okay. I guess I'm just a bit more powerful than I expected. I'm gonna plug in my headset.
やっぱりこの程度じゃダメか。もっと用意しないと。お前ら、僕が逃げるまで時間を稼ぐんだ。
やっぱり逃げる気？ジェレミー、もうやめて。なんでこんなことするの？
お前はこの前の猫？
うん、猫だよ。覚えてるんだね。
も
うこんなのやめて一緒に帰ろうよ。空も待ってるんだから。今さら心を変えるとは思えませんが。
ねえ、知ってる？お前らって本当に哀れなの？
Yeah, he flees. He flees the scene. And so the room we were in is actually the deepest part of the facility, so we are going to bring Sedorin with us to investigate the area. Oh wait, okay, you know. It's a bug, it's a visual bug. You see on the minimap, there's a symbol for the quest. It's actually like within the maze. For some reason we can see it from all the way here. Because I'm pretty sure technically all the maps exist in the same main plane or something, and they're just far from each other. Because you can see the coordinates You can see the coordinates in here. I reached level 70, which means I get... Hang on. Some consumables. And... Nice. Some familiars. So let me put these things here. Okay, and here this time we get 2 familiars for each gear. One that does more damage to bosses and named enemies, and one that improves our crit rate. Not by a lot, but it's better than nothing. I also took the time since last stream to learn more about the ways they've changed, like your ability to sell things on the market and stuff. So there's this soul retention system. It's what is here. So from what I understand, because there isn't much information available. Like when you search on Google, it literally tells you nothing about it. When you search on the Discord, it's people discussing, asking how to bring it back up, but not explaining how it works exactly. No. Most of the time it's people saying you don't have enough soul retention, but they don't explain how it works. But from what I've managed to gather, from the rare places where you actually have answers, soul retention, you get more soul retention by having better gear on your character, and you start getting soul retention around the end of the game. Soul retention is what allows you to enter specific raids, like the Golden Labyrinth that you need this for. You can only enter if you have 300 soul retention. And to get that, you need to craft essentially like a level 85 weapon. And to craft that level 85 weapon, you need to get better gear. So you need to actually do a lot of raids in successions. Like you need to farm raids for a long time, probably like weeks, to actually get what you need, which is quite annoying. Like, seriously. Oh, they've changed the overclock. It used to recover 12,000 HP, if I remember correctly. Now it's 13.5. Okay. But yes, you need soul retention to enter specific raids and to sell things on the market. So until I get actual soul retention, I won't be able to list anything on the market. Which is quite annoying. I mean, apparently, from what I've learned, from what I've read, they've added that to prevent bot accounts. I mean, to like prevent bot accounts from derailing the market, the player market, because several times in the past it has been there have been people who have attempted to destroy the game's economy by selling things way higher than they're supposed to and stuff. So yeah, so we need to redo. I forgot to check my skills. Doesn't matter. We need to redo the last one.
備がなんで僕がこんなの持たないといけないの。
疲れたなら言ってくれ。
Ah, come on.
いくらでも持ってあげるから。
大丈夫。
Why does it feel harder, even though I have my familiars now? Maybe because I'm not focusing enough. Sorry, I'm really trying to focus. It's becoming increasingly harder to focus on anything I do. And it's not out of boredom, it's just my ADHD being... It's just my unmedicated ADHD that is going out of control. And trust me, it's not really pleasant. Oh yeah, I forgot technically Stella and Severin knew each other before the vacuum. But Severin continued growing up and Stella did not. And yeah, this time we are not in teams, we are all present. So fun fact, in the past I used to always forget to talk to Severin and ended up having to redo the entire thing again. Oh. Yeah, Genet Company has created really dangerous things. Anyway, let me take this guy down again. Yep. Either I've learned how to fight him or he's not as... Oh wait, of course, it's because of my... I completely forgot. It's because of my brooches. Yep. So anyway, we've cleared the way for Severin. And basically, like, while looking around the room, she senses a draft coming from behind one of the walls. And discovers a secret room containing the Project Resurrection machine, and in that machine is Efnel being contained. So our objective is to use the power of the deep core, which was created exclusively to power the machine, and redirect basically the entire like power of the deep core to power the machine, create that alternate reality, and send Efnel there. And so essentially, when you play as Efnel, you are within that artificial reality. That's why things are so different for her, because she starts in Kansas City. Kent does not act the same way towards her, nor does Poison. Henry does not act the same way either. He like instead of